Well, John, an excellent point. Is Ukraine, and let you seize on the example that they've used, turning away from the EU because we're seen as failing? Yes, but only partly. It's not the key reason. Again, going back to some of our earlier discussions about need for humility and understanding local circumstances, the fact is Ukraine is turning away because this is a country ruled by a self-serving, corrupt elite whose interests are better preserved in a sort of a murky, semi-authoritarian regime in which they don't have to share power and shed light on their own decision-making. So at the end of the day, I think it is primarily for their own self-interest. The fact that they are setting up essentially a semi-authoritarian system, the fact that the EU isn't an attractive model, although does play into this. It makes it more difficult for the opposition, for the NGOs, for the media to make the case that there is a real cost to government's policy, because by the virtue of being so silly on issues like Tymoshenko or the association agreement, they are taking Ukraine away from the EU. That normally would be a powerful argument politically. You look at the examples of countries like Slovakia, where decisions in 1990s by Vladimir Mečiar to the country of the path to the EU. But then there was a real popular, genuine thirst and demand for EU membership that eventually ended up in tossing the government out and returning the countries back on an EU path. That doesn't happen in Ukraine, and it's partly because we have become a little less attractive. It's becoming so much more, our own feelings have made it so much more difficult for the pro-EU or pro-democratic forces to get organized and rally support and voices to their case, because we don't give them any ammunition. We, through our own behavior, have discredited our own cause and, sadly, their cause.